How's it going, everybody? It's Wrong Time here, and today I wanted to try something a little different. A lot of people see me as an eccentric in real life. Online, I'm kind of, I don't know, I guess I'm like a normal everyday guy online, but in person I do a lot of weird stuff. So I decided to tell you a story about it. And this one, I actually almost got arrested at the end. And I thought that was pretty funny. But how's it start? It was in June, towards the end of junior year, right in high school. And I was running for class president. I didn't really care about it. I just wanted to prevent someone else from getting it because they were corrupt and I didn't want them to do it. And so I ran for class president. And everyone wanted to vote for me, right? Because I guess I'm sort of quote unquote popular. A lot of people like me, I guess. But there was another person who a lot of people also like, and so that's where the real competition ran. Was between me and him. And we give our speeches, right? And I go up and I had this pre-written speech about it was about just what I planned on doing for class president, which was your usual official I'm gonna make our lives so much better, make America great again type deal. And then he goes up and he cracks a joke, and then bam, everyone immediately guns it for his vote. And I realized this, and I thought it was kind of funny. I didn't really care, but still. And everyone was voting for him. And so in order to try and keep the competition up, I guess I tried to give a second speech, an unofficial speech. And so there wasn't much time left between then and the voting. So I decided to just give the speech as people voted, which turns out is illegal. But I had a loophole around this, where it's you're not allowed to sway people's votes by giving political speeches or whatever. So I had a plan where I would I had a speech, right? And it was completely unrelated. It was actually not even a speech. It was more of a story at this point, like a fantasy. And I whipped this out. It was 5 pages long, mind you, of printer paper. It was huge. And I just start reading it in the middle of lunch, right? And right next to the voting booth. And it was insane. It was about unicorns and stuff like that, and superpowers and fighting crime and stuff like that. It was weird. And then about 3 minutes in, I'm gathering a crowd, right? And 3 minutes in, the principal comes out of the office, because the office was right next to the lobby where I was reading, which is connected to the cafeteria. He's, something like that. And he comes out of the office, and he's like, "All right, I can't let you read here because that's you're intimidating the voters." That's how he said it. And then everyone just started sighing and booing mildly or whatever. And then I cracked a joke about my rights as freedom of speech or whatever because I'm American. And my history teacher, who was standing right behind me, just started cracking up, and it was pretty funny. And he just looks at me, and he's like, "All right, I'll give you a few minutes to finish up or whatever, but wrap it up, okay? Wrap it up quickly." And so he just walks back into the office, and I continue reading. And he he didn't say that. He did say that, but he also told me to I can't read it right next to the booth because that's swaying voters. And so I'm like, okay, I got you. So I go across the hallway, right, which is it's pretty far away from the booth. Not pretty far away, but it's far enough, right? And I just start reading there. And then he goes into the office, realizes I'm still reading, and then he comes out with the resource officer this time, right behind him. He's like, "I'm going to give you 5 seconds to stop right now." And then people started, they got pissed about this, right? And so they're they're making a chant. They're they're Mr. Wolf sucks, that was his name, right? And he just tries to he calms down the crowd, or tries to anyway. It didn't work very well because the most popular kid in school was even in on it, and he was cracking jokes about it the entire time. And then Mr. Wolf, he's all right, here's what I'll do. We'll make we'll come to an arrangement. We'll meet halfway. If you read outside, because there was a little there's picnic tables just outside, right next to the lobby. And he's like, "You can read out there. It's nice and sunny. There's a nice picnic table." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I gotcha." And so I go outside, and I stand on top of one of the tables, and I start reading there. I'm screaming at this point. and like one of my friends holds open the door or whatever, and like I just did that for the rest of lunch, which was like oh, sorry, excuse me, which was like a solid like 10 minutes, and is it? Yeah, obviously, like I had to end after lunch. I had to get to class, but that's not the weird bit. The weird bit was when like I was told by my friends like in the next class who happened to be down on the first floor for their classes or whatever, and they're like, yeah, we heard you like screaming down the hallway, and they're like, what was that about? And I explained the situation, and they just started cracking up. I asked them why they asked, and it's like apparently the math teacher of that class heard me like screaming, and it was like stopped the class and walked out and down the hallway into the lobby to like apparently, because I asked this later, she quote unquote said she was gonna have me arrested for like some political propaganda thing. I forget exactly what it was, but if I had not stepped outside into the lobby, or not into the lobby, into the picnic table area at the exact moment I did, because she saw me walking out and just assumed that I was gonna like stop, I would have gone to jail, which I thought was pretty funny. And like the speech didn't really much matter, but my history teacher, like he was like, because that's what I had next. He's just sitting there like dying laughing about the whole thing, because he's like he watched the entire like shenanigan go down, and he loved it. He was proud of me for knowing my rights and stuff like that. It was a crazy time. I didn't wind up winning. I'm just a normal kid now, but still, either way, I thought it was a pretty good time. You know, did some basically political, like some sort of propaganda thing, yeah. And yeah, I thought that was worth sharing. And anyway, yeah, I kind of expected this to go on a bit longer. All right, see you later. Bye.